miss us? I did. Welcome to Spicy Chicken Sammich. I'm your host for today. And your host is named Carter McClellan, and we have these two goofballs surrounding me. How about you introduce yourselves and tell me your favorite spice?
Hello, my name is Nut. True to my name, I'm a nutmeg guy.
Alright, cool.
My name is Aiden, and I guess Kyan?
You guess.
I don't know, there's a couple of contenders.
Name your contenders, man.
Lemon pepper is good. That's probably the only contender, to be honest.
Wow, this is some pretty good introductions.
Well, maybe pick a better topic than my spice rack.
You know, that was the first thing that came to my mind because I wanted to spice things up.
You had 3 weeks to prepare, and you're like, well, tell me what's in your cabinet.
Well, anyway, we usually start with 10 minutes of small talk.
A phrase that is now cursed.
However, we gotta pick things out of Carter's magical hat. We're all gonna pick one, and there are 3 things.
So, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Nate, you pick one first. Pick one, you shit.
Oh, that's a long piece of paper.
Pick one.
Oh, no.
Alright.
These are yellow triangles. I think they're supposed to be of the Triforce. I'm holding wisdom. Nate got power, and Carter has courage. It is grunge at first. I'd love to talk about grunge for like
power, wisdom, and grunge.
Dude, Kurt Cobain was a force for approximately 3 years.
Well, you can talk about that during the 10 minutes of small talk, or the pop culture nugget.
Yeah, wisdom sounds like you'll be really pretentious. I'm a little afraid of it.
Yeah, I think I'd be willing to go up to bat for power. I think that sounds pretty wild.
Cool.
You know what? I will second that. Let's go power.
Power, alright.
We are hunger, we are power.
We stay hunger, we devour.
Alright, power hungry fiends. What are you guys going to talk about for the next 10 minutes?
Oh, what's been going on in my life? Well, I guess we can talk about the big boy.
The big boy.
Yeah. We bought a house.
Well, we rented a house.
We're leasing it, yeah.
We're all tenants now. We're big boys now.
Yeah, this is the last time we're hearing this recording room, probably.
Hopefully.
It's a nice little place. There's 4 of us.
We got
and
Gabe.
a cat.
Gabe might join us. Gabe might not join us. Who knows?
Or he'll be screaming about, like, Pokemon in the other room, and you'll end up joining us inadvertently.
But yeah, it's a pretty nice house. It's got a lot of rooms. We got a game room. We got a sunroom. We got a nice backyard. And
none of them are furnished yet.
well, there's a shed in the backyard. And we looked inside it, and there's all these little knickknacks. And there's just this giant riding lawnmower. And I talked to the landlord, and he's all like, oh yeah, you can have that if you want. So we just got ourselves a free riding lawnmower.
They're quite fun.
They are fun.
I was thinking about doing this for the chicken nugget segment, but I feel like I'd be...
No!
Shut it off. Anyway, keep on talking.
No, it'll ruin it. We're just...
I think it's fine.
Oh,
keep on talking.
It's not done.
It's done. It's mocking us. Anyway, Nick.
No, don't anyway this. If this is gonna ruin it, we shouldn't even do it.
Ah, damn it.
Always assume the worst with audio.
Yeah.
Is this just our life for the next 3 hours while this thing decides to filter all the water in this eastern seaboard?
I think it's done.
It sounds like it's wrapping up.
Cool. Anyway.
So I had a geometry dash phase.
Oh.
Okay.
And I feel like I'd be burned at the stake for, like, recommending that. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about my experience a little bit. I've had multiple geodash phases throughout my life. I think 3 big ones. The first one was when I was learning to play. The second one was when I was still bad. That was like when 2.0 came out, so, you know, I was having a ball with that. And then this last time, I clocked in like 20 hours within like 3 days. Now I think I'm pretty much done for this point in my life. That was a trip. These 2 were like really upset with me.
My brother would be proud.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I was upset. I was just bewildered.
You were definitely confused. I think Carter was mad.
Yeah, like I've listened to those songs for so long, and then it just... and I'm like, ah!
I will say, although I'm not sure if I'll be returning soon, I am very impressed with the dedication of the community. Like, there hasn't been an update in a hot minute.
Community is very strong. It's just that game annoys the shit out of me.
I'm not going to recommend it, but...
Yeah, I'm never a fan of the just don't get hit mentality.
Do what you want, but I'm not going to implore anyone to play it.
Yeah. That game, no. I don't like it.
There's so much anger there. Like, you know,
it's just funny of Isaac. Like, yeah, it's a good game. I understand it. But, like, after you play it for a while, you yourself getting very hopeless, and that just makes me mad.
And then you guys turn around and defend Tainted Lost.
Okay.
The other just don't get hit character I'm thinking of.
Well, but that one has benefits.
So does going outside. You don't see me doing that.
Did you hear about, like, the meatball they made out of mammoth meat?
I saw that. That looked really cool.
What?
Yeah, they made, like, genetic mammoth meat, and they made it into a meatball.
But did they eat it?
I think it's on display, so no.
Okay. I thought they made mammoth meat so you could consume it. If it's just
No.
if they just made a bunch of tissue, that's different.
It's really hard to make mammoth meat without...
Yeah, that's why I was so confused. Like, he had spaghetti and mammoth ball. That didn't seem right.
It is actually like a ball, though. They made a
Yeah, it was an actual ball. Yeah.
They made a meatball on purpose.
It was funny.
That's kind of cool. I should look into that.
Alright, I'm gonna try to tie this in as best as possible.
Transition us into power.
I would transition you into power. Just kidding, I'm the one in power.
Well, you have to at the end of the episode, though.
I could make it myself.
You're not third episode in a row. I haven't won since episode 3.
When you guys think of power, what do you guys think?
Muscles.
Muscles?
Work times displacement.
A big car.
No, work over time. Excuse me.
A really big car.
Big car. Seriously, I made this like today, so it's a little bit like funky. I thought you guys were gonna pick the other ones. When I think of power, I think of corruption, and when I think of corruption, I think of all those little baddies in history.
Huh?
You know those bad people in
Those
history?
little baddies.
Yeah, you know those little bad people in history?
When Caesar did an oopsie.
Anyway, we're gonna talk about those today.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the little baddies today.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Keep.
Yeah, I got a list of 5 people. Some of them you may know, and some of them you don't know. And if you don't know, you look it up on your phone, and then you talk about it.
Okay. Welcome to Drunk History, I guess.
Welcome to Drunk History with Carter McClellan. How do you guys think about Genghis Khan?
I don't know if it's relevant or not, but I mean, his whole thing was like he raped and pillaged all over Asia when he was a thing in the 1200s, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's unrelated, but the girl who pushed me off a cliff was a descendant of his.
Wow.
Ooh,
That's
personal connection.
Personal connection.
Well, almost. It didn't work out.
Didn't work out. Did you actually know that 1 out of every 100 people are descendants of Genghis Khan? Nate, what do you have to say about him?
Well, shit, I'm 25% Chinese. I might be one of them.
Are you?
Really?
Yeah.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, because I'm just like the epitome of a generic white boy.
you do have the nice buttery deep voice that comes out of a lot of like Korean gentlemen though, a la Markiplier and
Prozd.
whatever his name is.
He's my favorite guy. Fuck.
Just crack your ankle? What the hell was
My shoe is stuck in the chair. You were saying?
Your shoe clipped into the chair?
No, I stuck it through the hole and I couldn't get it back out.
Oh.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why you're making a big deal of it. Keep going.
I'm going to give you a fact about Genghis Khan from this very reliable.com website.
Okay.
He reigned in 1206 to 1227, so roughly 21 years. He spent time as a slave during his teenage years before he united the Mongol tribes and went on to conquer a huge part of Central Asia and China. Did you know that he was a slave?
I did not know.
Maybe in there.
Okay.
That's really interesting.
It's
though.
really cool.
Cool, I didn't know if you guys had anything to add on to slavery or whatever.
No, I, a cis white male, am not going to talk about slavery.
His style is characterized as brutal, and historians say he slaughtered civilians en masse.
That's unfortunate.
That's probably not dissimilar from the rest of the people on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. We got Genghis Khan, we got Stalin, we got Ganondorf.
I was actually going to joke about that.
Everybody's favorite historical figure.
Anyway, Stalin, what do you guys... That was actually the next one on the list.
Alright, Stalin.
Stalin.
Bolshevik Revolution was before or after? I don't remember.
He was in the 70s, I believe.
So that was way after.
Never mind, he was in the 30s, consider.
Not very far after.
Cool.
I don't know much about Stalin, to be completely honest.
He's the guy who invented socialism, right?
No.
No?
That was Lenin.
Lenin? on?
No.
Lean in for a kiss. His reign was between 1922 and 1953. Stalin forced quick industrialization and collectivization in the 1930s that coincided with mass starvation, the imprisonment of millions of people in labor camps, and the Great Purge of the intelligentsia, the government, and the armed forces.
We were talking about eating cum in the last episode.
How did we get here, man? That's really interesting, though.
That's really interesting! Okay, so for brownie points, what's my connection to Stalin?
He had a big mustache, so you could theorize that he didn't know how to shave.
Fuck you, dude. Okay, look, alright? It hurts.
At least I know how to shave.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm just trying to make the connection. If you got a better one, then you can pipe up.
Yeah, you look dumb. I don't like him either. How do you like them Snapples?
He's got me there, man.
He's got ya. Wow.
Consider this a stalemate.
Wow, I guess nobody gets the point for this one.
Nobody gets any points. Okay,
Gets
so
any
is
points.
it 0-0?
No.
All right. Well, who's next? On the
Queen
show?
Mary the First.
Is she Mary, Queen of Scots, or is that a different Mary?
Skulls.
No, it's Queen Mary the First, aka the Bloody Mary.
The one that shows up in a mirror. If you talk to her?
Yeah. That's where it came from. It's pretty cool.
Was she the off with your head one, or was that the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland?
I believe it was the off with your head.
No, wait. Queen of Hearts was based on her,
Yeah.
and Queen of Hearts did say that.
The Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland is loosely based on Queen Victoria, making Aidan a certified dumbass.
So from a third-hand source, I'm right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Third-hand source.
Tertiary.
I didn't know that there was anything worse than a secondary, but
Wait, what was their name again?
Mary.
Marry me. I'm on a roll right now.
Guys, it's the romance episode. We gotta kiss each other.
Should I wed you two?
No.
All right.
I don't have anything to say about Queen Mary, so we might as well.
Okay. We are gathered here today on April...
No.
When it goes out, you ignoramus.
Oh, ignoramus.
Wait, 29th when the last one out. It is April the 11th.
Okay.
Wait, 29th.
I don't think you're qualified for that.
It is April the 12th. And on this day, we are gathered in holy matrimony. I'm not religious, this is kind of hard for me. To pronounce Cartavius and Nathavius cuck and fuck.
Can I say my vows?
By all means, fuck.
I will stick my wiener so far up your asshole it'll come out your nose.
Is that it?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I've been thinking, I don't know if you care about me. I think you just care about my body and sticking your weenus up my asses.
A pastoral Christian wedding. You may now kiss the bride.
I was talking like, ah! Dude, what if people just kiss like that?
I mean, that's how they kiss the end of Clyde with a Chance of Meatballs.
Oh yeah, they did do that.
That was a very cute scene.
It was very
Yeah,
cute.
it's a very good movie.
Anyway, Queen Mary. Let me give you some facts, and then you can tell me whether or not it's interesting.
If it's not interesting, can we take points from you?
I mean, no.
All right.
I'm just gonna pick one of you two, depending on how many words you say and how much content you put in.
Depending on how hard you try.
Yeah, depending on how hard you try. If you're like, good job. No, you gotta give some effort. Her reign was between 1553 and 1558.
That's quite short.
She was the only child of the King Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon. Mary I became Queen of England in 1553 and soon reinstalled Catholicism after previous rulers championed Protestantism as the main religion and married Philip II.
Protestantism?
No!
Mr. Religion Major?
No! Cool.
Wait, say it again.
The only child of the King
No,
Henry...
further forward than that.
Mary I became Queen of England in 1503
After the Protestantism, whatever you said.
and married Philip II of Spain, a Catholic. Over the next few years, hundreds of Protestants, I guess, were burned at the stake, and for that she earned the nickname Bloody Mary.
So she just wanted this Spanish dude and was willing to murder everybody of the official faith to make it happen.
If you're a Protestant, you're fucked. You're burned at the stake. Doesn't matter who you are.
Oh my god, that's so interesting. Ooh, I'm putting in so much effort. Ooh.
It's taking every ounce of my being and will to hold back just a sea of flood of compliments. I'm putting every ounce of my being into the dam that is holding back just endless praise, like me on my knees, literally getting your dick rail in my jaw.
Whenever you talk, it just makes my heart smile, and whenever you look at me, I get a huge boner.
Guys, the poem episode's later, not now, so. Guess what number 4 is?
You wouldn't save Hitler for last, so this one is Hitler.
Cool. It's Hitler.
All right, I
That
guess
was actually Hitler, yeah.
I'm more or less familiar with this
Yeah,
one.
you guys are more familiar with Hitler. You know, that guy.
Yeah, he's...
Love him.
He's...
Don't love him.
He's recent. I don't know. Like, I mean, the best depiction of him is in The Great Dictator, so...
Yeah, like
What's the
what
Great
can we-
Dictator?
The Charlie Chaplin movie.
All right.
Everyone made fun of him because he had, like, the toothbrush mustache in, like, the 30s, right? And then people were likening it to the Hitler look. And so he made a movie where he plays 2 different characters. One of them, he's a Jewish barber in just, like, some slum in Germany. And in the other, he's, like, the Hitler straw man.
Oh, interesting.
It's a comedy. It's actually very funny.
Huh.
And at the end, because they look alike, they get swapped. So Hitler put in a concentration camp, and Jewish barber winds up, like, on a podium in front of all of Germany.
That's cool.
And he gives, like, one of the most profound speeches I've ever heard.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I think I've seen that. He kills that speech.
Yeah, it's amazing.
In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you the people have the power to create happiness.
The movie could have been edited way better, so it's only a 7 out of 10. But that ending speech is a 10 out of 10. It's great.
Nice. Did you guys read any books in terms of the Holocaust?
I don't read.
Yeah, you don't know how to read.
I
forgot.
I read Mouse. That's a graphic novel.
I've been wanting to actually.
We started on Mouse and then we did something else in the class.
When was this?
High school.
Which year? Freshman, probably.
Yeah.
You know why you probably stopped?
Why?
It was a banned book that year.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so annoying.
That's why we read it, actually, because my teacher wasn't taking that shit. It depicts different, like, demographics of different animals.
Yeah. That's what I saw.
Cats are Germans,
Yeah.
Jews are mice, and, other animals that don't really fit that dichotomy kind of slot in other places.
Anyway, let me give you some Adolf Hitler facts to brighten your day.
Okay.
So he reigned between 1933 and 1945, so
Yup.
for 10 years.
Yep.
By the end of 1941, Hitler's German Third Reich Empire, the Axis, included almost every country in Europe, plus a large number of North Africa.
Yep.
He devised a plan to create his ideal master race by eliminating Jews, Slavs, Gypsies, homosexuals, and political opponents. There was also a great collector in terms of shoes for some reason.
What an episode topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
You guys seem really interesting.
What's your 5th?
Aiden Amin.
Who?
Oh, sorry, Idi Amin.
I've never even heard of this person.
Oh, man. Well, I got the news for you. His reign was between 1971 and 1979. General Amin overthrew an elected government in Uganda via military coup and declared himself president. 3 million civilians were massacred.
Okay.
He also drove out Uganda's Asian population, mostly Indian and Pakistani citizens, and spent large amounts on the military, both of which led to the country's economic decline.
This guy sounds really bad.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. Like,
You guys got any stories in terms of, like,
no,
shitty
I've
people?
never killed 3 million people.
Well, it does. Okay.
And I've never overthrown a government either.
This idea sucks. I'm going to branch this off, and it's going to be more of a personal topic. What is the worst person, in your opinion, in your personal life?
Well, that changes my answer.
Individual that you, like, hate dearly.
After this episode, probably you.
Damn it.
I was so excited about the direction this podcast was going, and it was getting funnier and funnier, and now we're talking about the Holocaust for 30 minutes.
I'm giving the power to you guys. What's the worst person that you would, like, you absolutely hate?
There's this cuck whose alarm goes off all day and all night in my dorm. I lovingly refer to him as alarm cuck. He must miss home really bad and just think about those days when his father would wake up in the morning and go to work, but every single morning he'd be woken up by the distant sound of the default Samsung or Apple ringtone. That must be the only thing that gives him solace now living on his own in college because it plays 24/7 at maximum volume. The guy's like a 6'6" black guy, so I'm not gonna fucking tell him to stop. he's definitely capable of snapping me like a twig.
Maybe he's a plant. Maybe it's like an experiment, like to see if anyone in the dorm is gonna snap and just go
Like the
after him.
plutonium experience of the 60s, of course. Yeah, let's just see if we can drive an entire floor insane.
You said that you like kept on like kicking his door too.
Yeah, I made this habit of every night, presumably either sitting at his desk or asleep when I knew he was in the room. I would make a habit of like at 2 a.m. every day, just winding up and kicking his door as hard as I fucking could to scare the shit out of him. Usually he'd stop the alarm for like 15 minutes and then start playing it again and slowly bring the volume back up.
I think he's doing this on purpose.
I think so too. Because
there's like no reason why you would enjoy that yourself. You just like torturing people, I guess.
the nail in the coffin was 5 a.m. I was just laying in bed staring at the ceiling and my alarm was going off. And by my, I mean his. But it's fucking my problem if it's that goddamn loud. And I got out of my bed. I think I had like a towel wrapped around me and I was in my underwear and my bunny slippers. And I just walked over to his door. Like I just sat there with my hand on the wall next to the door like, do I want to do this? And after like 5 minutes of psyching myself up to it, getting angrier and angrier at this sound, I hit the door so hard I thought I broke 2 fingers. They hurt for like 3 days after that.
Shut up.
But what?
The Amazon thing. Anyway, continue.
Okay. Wail on this door as hard as I can. Like the echo goes down the hallway and reverbs back in me like once or twice. It was as if somebody had blown up, like as if they had gone off and I heard other people in adjacent rooms stirring, getting out of like, what the fuck was that? And I just hobble back to my room and close the door and the alarm has never been a problem since.
Wow.
Really?
All it took was physical injury to make it happen.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
I never knew that actually stopped. Yeah.
But this fucking cock for 6 months! God. Holy shit, the waveform. I was talking to that guy. Like, I would just be sitting on the floor in my room. God, how fucking brain dead must you be? How hard must your parent grab you by the leg as an infant and swing you against a fucking pipe with, like, head first for you to grow up and think that that's acceptable, even if no one confronts you about it? Because you're a 6'6" black guy that's like 300 pounds of pure muscle.
Wow. Crazy.
But it stopped.
It stopped.
It stopped.
And now we're going to a new house.
Just in time for me to move out, yeah.
Anyway, Nate, how about you?
So I don't know if there's really anyone in my personal life that I hate. Every once in a while, I'll be a little bit annoyed at someone, but generally I distance myself from people that I dislike. But there's been a lot of stink bugs around my house lately.
Man!
The most evil person is an insect.
Like, they don't fucking fuck up. I have the lamps on. I just hear one across the room like... Shut the fuck up! And then every once in a while, I'll just be sitting in my chair, like doing whatever the fuck, and then I see one just slowly crawl up on the arm of the chair, like, can you get the fuck out of here? So I flick it across the room, and then my fucking finger stinks. They do fucking poison damage to you if you touch them. It's so goddamn annoying.
Is it my nose just bad or do they smell like cornstarch?
I don't know.
I haven't really gotten a smell.
It's not a strictly bad smell. It's just knowing that it came from their asshole just makes it so much worse. And
Man.
like I go to wash my hands, it's still fucking there. Like that shit sticks to you. If it actually smelled like poopy, I think that would be better actually.
Because that's like so much of a problem that you can't like pretend to ignore it.
Yeah, that's like, it's consistent with the stink bug name. It's the most ambiguous smell I've ever smelled, and it won't fucking leave until like the next morning. God, and they're all over the goddamn place.
Man.
Yeah, I'll second that. They are assholes and
They're assholes.
They're all over my house too.
If I'm in a good mood and I see one going across the floor with that stupid fucking walk, because it's a pretty stupid looking bug, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you keep doing your thing, but like, get all over me, and they make so much noise with their fucking wings and shit. Like, God, just fuck off.
They are the worst.
Just leave me alone, man. I'd say that's like what I'm the angriest at these days.
God, my mom has a story that she tells because they like exploded over the last 5 years, right? Like they're a new problem, it seems like.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I mean, maybe they were around before. I have no memory of them, and now they're all I think about in the summer. But my mom was talking about how early on in this stink bug outbreak, she woke up to the feeling of suction on her eyelid.
Oh.
Huge motherfucking stink bug, and it was just sucking on it. It was just sucking on it, and she woke up, not because of the sucky boy. He could have been there for fucking hours. So that's a story that lives rent-free in my brain.
God. You could have like 2 layers of paper towels on your hand. You grab the fucker. You don't even squish them. You just put them in the trash. That shit still stinks. As soon as you touch them, they're just like... And then, God, it's just every time. Every fucking time. They're so annoying.
You're always like, permission to tear your ass. And I'm like,
Well, think about how good you have it.
Yeah, I do have
it.
it
Could
good.
be an army of thousands of little coffee filter boys.
As Nate is describing this, I'm like, man, Nate's like a stink bug, but at least he asked permission.
Yeah.
He's polite.
Maybe every once in a while you should reward me with permission.
Well, here's the deal. Your excuse is like, well, I just shit.
If you fart before you shit, it smells worse because the gas passes through the stanky shit. So it's like double. It's like a double stuffed Oreo, you know?
Yeah, I love describing my shit as a double stuffed Oreo.
When you fart after a shit, it's like a golden Oreo.
Have you tasted it?
I've tasted a fart before.
Oh.
I had a particularly bad one. It tasted like a dry erase
Just
marker.
look-
Like I was laying on the floor of my house, and I was just like... And then,
This has been Nate's anus update. Yeah, the episodic series.
and then for like 5 minutes, I was like...
Have you guys ever had the habit of like eating the eraser off of your pencil?
I would always chew the metal around it, but never the eraser.
I do that as well. Yeah, you like chew it, and then you get to the point where like it gets loose, and then you like wrap it around until the metal's no more.
Pull the metal back, then you can get a bit more eraser.
Yeah, exactly. And then you chew more eraser, and then you're like,
Well, no, you don't chew the eraser. That's fucking weird. Eating metal, that's fine.
That's where I draw the line, man.
shit. Oh man.
But no, I've never chewed a pencil.
No?
Well, actually, okay, so I've chewed off a pencil, but it's like when you go to sharpen it, and then it sharpens the wood over the lead.
Oh, to like get the lip off of it, and
Yeah.
like if like the graphite isn't centered? Yeah, I do that.
Okay, yeah,
That's so
that's
annoying.
fine. Yeah.
Pencil quality control has gotten a lot better in recent years, though.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially when we use pens all the time now.
I use pencil still.
Okay,
I
cool.
use them.
Virgin.
What? One day I walk in and I'm just like, boys, I did it.
Boys, boom. You guys ever like try to drum on the table with pencils?
Yeah, I want to be like Stuart Copeland.
Oh,
I used to do that at school, and then one time, like, this guy sitting at my table just looked me dead in the eyes, and he was like, that is the most annoying tap I've ever heard. And I have not done it since.
I don't do it in public, but like when I'm in my room alone, yeah, I'll do it. You want to hear a really cursed story?
Yeah, why not?
I guess you wouldn't be privy to it because you haven't really seen my room like when it's furnished. I have a little canteen, kind of, a big tall water thing. It's like my baby. I love that thing. I can just go fill it up and then it lasts me all day. The thing is it's really tall and so you can't fit a straw in it if you have the top on. So I leave the top off a lot.
Oh,
And
okay.
once or twice this has backfired.
Yeah.
I've definitely taken a sip of it before and been like, that's been there for about a week, hasn't it? And then gotten sick. That's happened multiple times.
Oh, that's gross.
I'm trying my best to curb that, but the event that I want to talk about when I take a sip, and well, I mean, this is going to harken back to what we were talking about earlier involving little friends, but I took a sip from my water bottle out of that straw, and I'm like, this is some good water. It's a good time drinking out of it, and then I'm sitting down playing the games or whatever, and like an hour into this session, I take a sip, and the straw catches a little bit. And I'm like, maybe if I just suck a little harder. So I suck a little harder. I don't know if it's like this where you guys are from, but where I'm from, water is supposed to be crunchy.
Dude, do you chew your water?
Yeah, I ate a whole grasshopper. It wasn't a stink bug, it was a grasshopper.
Still pretty bad. I thought the direction you were going was one of your cats shit in it.
No.
What?
I do have a story that's similar to that, though.
A whole grasshopper.
How big is your straw? Is it like a big straw?
Yeah, it's like a boba straw.
That's a pretty good story. I wasn't expecting that.
Just a whole insect. Felt a crunch. Immediately hit with just this bitter, acidic taste. I think I actually willingly ate soap to get the taste out. He was potent.
Gross. gross.
But speaking of cat shit, if I can tell another story without
Go for
encroaching
it.
on your time. So, you've met Sting. You know Sting. Sting is one of my 2 cats. He's a little black cat. He's got a little white tuft, and he's my sister's cat. And I say that because he hates everyone who's not my sister. And he's a little bastard. And we equal parts love and hate him. He's cute from a distance, but other than that, he's screaming, or he's clawing up your shit, or he's trying to claw the shit out of you. Just a little bastard through and through. This has never been more true than, actually, I think it was right after they came to pick me up from college one semester. My family, my mom, my sister, had to like leave the cats for a day and a half, you know, to pick me up. The lights were all off in the house, and I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I ran upstairs to the upstairs bathroom, and everyone else like loitering around the house, you know, just doing whatever. I get out, and then as I'm walking down the stairs, I step on something that feels like wet cloth. And I'm like, oh, I guess Veen like loves to moisten her chew toys by just really going ham on them. So Veen's the other cat. Like, oh, I guess you just got finished playing with Gilbert, which is her favorite one. It's not coming off my foot. And I'm like, man, that's really stuck on there. And so I go to scrape it off with a finger, and then it gets stuck to that finger. And I'm like, that's not how that's supposed to be. And so, you know, like a genius, I'm like, maybe I can figure out what it is if I smell it. I go to put it up against my nose to give it a whiff, but then as I go to do that, all of a sudden, who comes out like a bat out of hell but Sting, just racing up the stairs as if he's being chased by the devil himself. He scares me, and I flinch, and then I accidentally smear whatever is on my fingers all over my nose and upper lip. And it's at that moment that I realize that I am absolutely covered in shit. And so on one leg, I flamingo hop all the way to the closest sink, and I basically just try to force my entire body, all clothed, into the sink and just scrub myself down with dish soap. And it was horrible. Because I don't know if you knew this, but if you piss off a cat, they'll shit on your rug. And I guess Sting was upset that Jenna was out of his sight for more than 24 hours, so I had to pay the price for it. Why I didn't turn the lights on the staircase before going to use the bathroom, I'll never know.
No, I mean, I get that. I don't have a reason for doing it, but I do that.
And we know it was Sting, too, because Veen's too polite. So there's my story.
Alright, wow. That was...
Should Nate give, like, one final power rank? I feel like I've really dominated this episode. I feel like it's only fair if we give Nate a chance to expose about power. Expound, I mean.
Expose about it.
What are you trying to get me to do?
Just tell a story.
Tell a story.
Yeah, like tell a story involving something that you think is powerful and have an ire towards.
Oh, okay.
Souls you cannot stand who have agency over your life.
Oh, okay. So this was in 3rd grade. I won't say his name because he had a very unique name, and he probably wouldn't see this. But
His name is Gary.
there was
Yeah, the only guy known as Gary.
Yeah, okay, we'll call him Gary. So Gary was this little bitch in my 3rd grade class. Motherfucker was like everything into one package that you would hate about a typical 3rd grader.
Okay.
He would be the kid that would fart and eat his boogers and chase after the girls. I kind of became friends with him somehow. I think just because I was a good guy. I wasn't as cold to him as other people. But still, this fucking bitch would kick me under the table. I'd kick him back, but then he would get in trouble for it because I was savvy like that. But he's the source of some of my best and worst memories, because there was this one time where we were silent reading. I saw he had a tiny little booger coming out of his nose, and I look up at him for a couple seconds. He just like scrapes it out with his thumb and eats it. And it happened so fast. I was like, did I just see that? And so I was telling my friend about it, and I was like, yeah, so I saw him eat a booger. And then he's just like, oh, he's doing it again. He got his head tilted, his fingers so far up his nose, and the biggest, slimiest booger comes out. So, like, he has it, he licks it, and then he stretches it.
As if it were, like, gum in a cartoon.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking insane.
It's like watching National Geographic.
Yeah. And also, so on our birthday, in the class, you get like a PNG of a cupcake.
Okay.
It was like a little plastic cutout of a cupcake with your name on it. It was just a nice little trinket for you to take with you. So I was like, oh, cool. And we also had these name tags. Each person would have it at their spot at the table. So they're shaped like the top half of a triangle. It was a point or a ramp. So
Like a Toblerone.
I would take the cupcake and I would flick it and it would go off the ramp. And I was like, oh, that's fun. I didn't flick it very hard, so it didn't leave the table. Gary caught onto that. And so we were just like having a ball with this cupcake. One time I flicked it too hard and it just like fucked off. And the teacher was like, who did that? And somebody saw it and said Nate, but then someone else said Gary. And I was like, I don't know, it wasn't me. And then his ass got in trouble.
I don't know. I feel like there was a more even partnership in that villainy than I was expecting in that story.
Between me and him in particular, yes.
Okay.
He was like kind of bad to everyone.
Oh, so you're saying he brought you down to his level?
Yeah.
He was a bad influence?
I'm not saying that I'm innocent here, but he was not the best guy. Right. Anyway, there was one time where I farted.
Not hard to imagine.
I just silent farted, and it was rancid. So, who smelt it, dealt it is like the unspoken rule, right?
And if that fails, he who denied it, supplied it.
I feel like you can bypass it if your reaction is genuine enough. So, like, I farted, and then once I smelled it, I was like, oh, ew! And then my friend sitting next to me was like, oh! We just
oh my god, the waveform.
And we just decided it was Gary, which was awful of us.
I think Gary just gets a bad rap.
Oh, man.
Okay, alternate timeline. All three of you farted simultaneously, and so it becomes Schrodinger's ass, and no one will ever know whose fart specifically was the stinky fart, unless you default to the he who smelt it dealt it rules. And if all three of you own up to it and discover the scenario, then the he who denied it supplied it rules come into play.
You lost me.
Exhibit A, there's you, there's Gary, and then there's unnamed third party, okay? And then in this hypothetical third grade scenario, all three are sitting at a table in reasonable proximity, like equidistant, right? Three sides of like a triangular table. So that way, proximity doesn't mess with anybody's judgment. And then all three of you simultaneously rip ass. But it's all silent, and all three of you are like you, amicable enough to own up to such a thing in your contemporary self and state of being, because you are very proud of your farts.
Yes.
In this hypothetical scenario, all three of you have this quality, and so all three of you are like, I gotta be honest, that was me. But then you realize that only one fart could have been the disgusting fart, and the rest were fine. So you have this first layer of, do you think that the others are just being polite and you're like, no, I actually did it? Or do you believe each other that all three of you farted? And beyond even that, you would never know whose fart was which because of the equidistant thing, unless you defaulted to the he who denied it supplied it rule because you all smelt it, because you all admitted to it. So the first person to crack and withdraw from the situation is, ironically enough, the one that gets blamed. That's some beautiful mind game theory for you.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by this scenario that you just drummed up, but we didn't choose the Triforce of Wisdom.
Yeah.
I guess I lose then.
I'll think about it. You guys should do the nugget as I scramble to put a futon in the house, as it looks like it's going to storm pretty soon. So,
why don't we help you with that, and then we'll just continue the podcast, and we'll just cut out the truncated silence.
Cool.
Okay, let's
be right back after this 2-minute sponsorship.
After these messages.
Hi, I'm Rob Spunchley of the ASFHSADOF, which is the American Society for the Honesty of Smelling and Dealing of Farts. Have you or a loved one been negatively impacted by a fart that was not yours but attributed to yourself anyway? You may be entitled to financial compensation. We're filing a class action suit against Nate's asshole, and are firm believers that people are not capable of improving. Dial the number on screen now for details. Otherwise, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Hope you enjoyed that ad break that I recorded or something.
Yeah. Oh, Pepper's here to enjoy.
Oh, it's a boy's behavior.
As we've seen today, power has many aspects. It's got sadness, it's got awkwardness, it's got a lot of anger for some reason. And according to Nate's definition, it's got a lot of disgusting attributes as well.
I don't feel like that's an unfair judgment call to say, though.
It is not. No.
What's the phrase? Absolute power corrupts absolutely?
Yes.
With great power comes Big farts.
That's the spleen's origin story.
As I have learned today, power is inflicting terror upon your enemies.
For example, the likes of Stalin, Stinkbugs, Alarm Cuck, 2 pounds of terrible sting.
I was thinking throughout the second bit where we were talking about stories. Aiden described a person, and Nate described a stink bug. So I think Aiden's gonna be the winner.
I'll take it!
I was like, yeah, let's go!
I've had a bit of a drought, so it's good to win.
Yeah. Let's talk about some nuggets.
Chicken nugget bit.
Chicken nugget bit.
I assume that jingle will be in my inbox shortly.
Do. Nugget.
Okay, what have I done?
What have you guys been learning about? We talked about the mammoth meatball, I guess, but
It's not really a recommendation, though.
yeah, you guys should look at that article about the meatball.
Like, if it was actually available in an Italian restaurant near you with your pasta, recommendation. Solid. Don't mind.
Mario movie's out next week, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, it'll be out when you hear this.
Yeah, so
Hopefully it's good. I had an idea for an episode that we were going to do if I ever won before the movie came out, which didn't happen. But it was going to be a Mario Battle Royale, where we put all of them together in like a March Madness style tourney and had to figure out who the sole survivor would be.
that would have been actually pretty cool.
Yeah, but nobody declared me the winner, so I guess fuck it.
I declared you the winner. We can do it next time, I guess.
Well, it'll already be out!
You can do a different bracket. I don't know. Do like a game bracket of like all the games that we've played or whatever.
Secret Life of Pets 3. Who lives? Who dies?
That fucking rabbit throws hands.
Yeah.
Don't count Sweet Pea out. That's the bird's name.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
You guys doing anything for April Fool's Day? You guys even remember what that is?
I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Damn, I guess I'm not telling you guys either. I thought what we had was special, but I guess whatever.
Alright, I have a game. I haven't been playing a lot of new games lately. I've been falling back on old favorites, like Geometry Dash.
Yeah, I feel like favorites for Geometry might be a bit hyperbolic.
Yeah.
There was one new thing I played. I played Freedom Planet. Now, I won't say it's a new favorite of mine or anything. It takes heavy inspiration from classic Sonic games.
Yeah, like Sonic Advance specifically.
Those games are meant to be replayed a lot so that you really get the levels burned in your mind and then you can just blast through them. I'm not big on Sonic level design, but still, I thought the game was pretty solid. The fucking boss fights were spicy as hell. Like, the game was actually fucking hard, and you can choose your difficulty. I played on fucking normal, and it was testing my ass. If you like platformers, give it a go. Awesome boss fights, okay levels. If you like Sonic, you will love Freedom Planet.
Yeah, and if you're like me, and you're really into the story, which nobody else is, you'll be literally playing through the levels just to get to the interesting parts.
I don't know if I'd say I liked the story, but it added a lot of flavor anyway.
Yeah. Also, the voice of Sody Pop on Chicken Nugget voices Lilac, so there's a fact.
But speaking of platformers, have you heard of Pizza Tower?
Shut
Oh my god!
Shut the fuck up.
It was a promise. I promised them that we would talk about it this podcast.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
You know what? Break a promise. You don't know them anything.
What pop culture thing? I guess it's spring's coming around, so I'm kind of excited for like growing plants and stuff.
Oh, like botany?
Yeah, botany. I'm a big fan of like
Horticulture.
Yeah, horticulture and all that.
What the
So
fuck was that?
Jinx for a Coke!
it's not a Coke, that's a Pepsi. Anyway, we got this new house, and in the backyard there's this little garden section, and I'm excited to grow peppers and all that, and taking care of Pepper and.
Look at him over there. He's all perched on top of the futon. Carter found a new futon on the street. This one actually looks pretty okay, though.
It is pretty good.
Although I guess I'll keep you posted if there's a futon update.
Ooh, it's starting to rain.
Yeah, it's really going hog wild out there.
Maybe the audio will catch you. I don't know.
Yeah, it might.
Yeah, maybe we should wrap this up.
Okay, I'm trying to think. There was a band I've been listening to, like, fuck, and I forget what. Oh, you know what I listened to that's really good? There's a band that I like called Shadow Academy. They have one album. You probably know Dan Avidan from Grumps, Ninja Sex Party, and Starbomb and other musical projects. And he has his own, like, fully serious band. And while the man has trouble writing, not the best lyricist ever. A lot of naval themes. But the album itself is an instrumented, like, beautiful. It's like new rock, hard distortion, a lot of, like, over-compression and overdriving of guitars and things. Kind of like Tears for Fears, where it's just like a duo in studio that just was like, hey, would you mind doing a keyboard part for us? And people who just frequent the area were like, sure! It was recorded by, like, a bunch of people. So, good album. My 3 favorites are Cast No Shadow, White Whale, and The Other Side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't heard the whole album, but yeah, White Whale is sexy.
Cast No Shadow is like one of the best produced songs ever, if you ask me. The production is beautiful.
That shit is nice.
God.
Yeah,
Holy shit, the rain is falling sideways.
Yeah, it's crazy out there.
It's getting a little rough, it's a little brown. Alright, I guess we done here.
I guess we're done.
I have a topic for next week. We'll be in a new location. We have a lot of moving and house maintenance to do. This is a fun episode, especially the second half, which wasn't about genocide. Fucking house gonna come down? Holy crap.
Yeah, it's raining hard.
Oh my, you hearing this shit? It's hail!
Oh god.
Oh god! They're bouncing so high on my car!
Well, anyway, we're gonna be leaving because we're concerned about.
No, we're gonna be staying the fucking here. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna be outside.
Pepper appears to be scared. Okay, well, I guess in our final moments, I hope you enjoyed smelling shit with us. We enjoyed smelling shit with you. We'll see you next 2 weeks from now, hopefully, if we're not dead, with a topic that I'll have picked. I have like 3 I need to choose between. So we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
I'm looking outside.
Holy shit. Hey ya.
Thanks.
For
Listening.
2
This episode
of
spicy
chicken
Sammich.
now
if
You
didn't
no
the
podcast
is
on
bunch
of
different
platforms.
so
id
Really
help
us
out
if
you
followed
us
here
and
over
there
can't
say
how
long
long
it'll
be
until
you
listen
to
another
these
so
until
then
have
yourself
a
nutritious
dinner
and
will
be
back
here
in
2
weeks.